Howdy, Ranger fans. Welcome back to another midweek coaches show. I know it's a little bit different with me kicking it off, but as we get into the spring semester, we're going to change some things up a little bit, go back to what we've done the past springs. Miss Snyder and I, she's obviously not here today, but she will be rejoining us next week. We will kick off the show talking about everything that's happened in the past week for athletics. We'll go over wins, losses, performances for all of our sports teams. We'll still highlight our students and teachers of the week. Then what we'll do is we'll kick it to Coach Hill, who will be with one of our coaches that's in season for a little bit of a deep dive into their sport. So it's a great opportunity for that coach to get on, talk about things happening in their program, not just wins, losses, maybe not just things you'll see if you come to a game, but to really give an outlook on how their season's going, how it's gone, what's coming up in postseason. So you can look forward to getting a little bit of a deep dive into each of our sports throughout the spring. And then Miss Snyder and I will come back and we'll follow up with everything that's coming up that week for Ranger Athletics. So to kick off our first week, let's talk about everything that's happened this past week for Rangers. Boys basketball is in the heart of their district season. They've got 3 more district games left. They have had a couple of close, tough losses to New Braunfels. They lost to a very talented Wagner team last night, but we've had some really great performances recently by Wayne, Wyatt, Colton, and really close losses. Like I said, it's boys basketball is always, each night is a battle. Anybody can win. So we've been proud of the fight that our boys have showed. Wrestling, our wrestling program headed to the state dual tournament last weekend. Our girls finished 6th in the state in all of 5A. So super impressive for them. Boys finished 13th, which is still very impressive when you think about how many wrestling programs there are. It's a great showing as they head into district this week and get ready for their state competition in a couple of weeks. Another great showing was swim. Swim had their district meet last Friday. I got to go out and watch. Really proud of all of our Rangers. Our girls actually won the district meet. They're district champs. And I want to talk for a second about the way that they did it. If you're watching, they're not winning a lot of the first place events, but we've got multiple kids in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th that are earning those points. So I think some people were surprised that we ended up district champs, but when you've got 3, 4, 5 girls finishing in each event, it really is a team effort to end up winning the district championship. On top of that, Coach Duck, our swim coach, Coach Duckworth, was also named the girls coach of the meet. So we're super excited for that. Shout outs to Finley, Jason, Max, our 200 medley, Cameron, Finley, Ava, and Elise. They were all event winners. And then like we said, because of the total team effort, they ended up district champs on the girls side. So they'll head to regionals in a couple weeks. We'll have information on that. We'll actually sit with Coach Duck that week and get a little more of a deep dive into swim. And we are also in the heart of soccer season. So girls and boys soccer are 4 games into district at this point. Our girls started off district strong, 3 big wins over champion Alamo Heights and Bernie. Last night they took on Piper, ended in a tie 0-0. So a really good start to district for our girls. Our boys are nothing if not consistent. Their first 3 games ended in ties for the boys and then had a tough loss last night at Piper. But to Piper, 2-0. So they are 0-1-3. So we're impressed with the ties and we know that they're going to go in there and get some wins coming soon. Speaking of some wins, we're going to take a little break right now. We'd love to highlight our students of the week. This is normally Miss Snyder's job, but she did send the group that she wanted to highlight. And for this week, our students of the week are our Ranger cheerleaders. This past weekend, they traveled to Dallas where they competed at the National Cheerleaders Association National Championship. Our JV cheer team placed 3rd in their game day category, so congrats to JV. And the varsity performance team, which is a smaller group of 15 of our varsity team, won their performance division and are now national champions. So we just keep spitting out champions here at Smithson Valley. Congrats to Ranger Cheer. Congrats to their sponsors. We appreciate all that you do for all of our sports, and we're glad that we get to highlight you and your success. Speaking of highlighting a group, talking about some success, now's the point where we're going to head to Coach Hill. This week, we're going to get a deep dive. You're going to meet Kathleen Johnson. We've met with her before, but you're going to get to hear a little bit more about our girls basketball program and where they're at.
Thanks, Coach Miller, and congratulations to our athletes on their successes and accomplishments on this last week. And before we throw it back to Coach Miller and talk about next week, we're going to do as we typically do in the spring semester. We'll highlight a single sport that's ongoing and talk to their head coach and kind of get a little behind the scenes what's going on today. Our girls basketball program, Kathleen Johnson, who's with us here today. She's I say new since the beginning of the school year. She's our new girls basketball coach and has launched her program, and we're kind of in year one of that. And so, Coach, first of all, welcome, and why don't you tell them all where you came from and a little bit of your background prior to being here.
So I am coming from Stevens High School. I was there for the last 6 years as the head coach. Prior to that, I was in Frisco ISD at Heritage High School as an assistant. And before that, I did my graduate assistantship at Syracuse University, played at Tulsa, and I'm an Allen High School graduate.
Okay. Well, she came highly recommended. We were ecstatic to get her on board this past summer. And with any new head coach, you got to launch your program different maybe than how things have been done. A tough competitive league, and but we've made strides. And Coach, our viewers who will get a chance to see you in action on the Rangers Network next Tuesday, but give them a little bit of a preview or background. Let's talk about pre-district tournaments and things, and then the district race up to now.
We have had a really good season in terms of laying the foundation for our program. Right. We came in, we had 2 varsity returners and only 1 senior. So our whole team was new. I'm new. And so it was really like putting the building blocks in place through the pre-district. Played 3 tournaments, which was great for us, got tons of experience, kind of moved some pieces around. We had Sayana Cavazos playing point guard for the first time, which is new to her. And so we're all just kind of figuring it out. Hit district, really tough league. We're able to come up with a couple big wins, one over New Braunfels at home, which was really, really close game, hard-fought one, and then another at Bernie Champion, which was a buzzer-beater win for us. Olivia Lindner, our freshman, was able to hit a bucket right at the buzzer for us to win in a crazy game. And so those are kind of our highlights. We've got 2 to go, and we're trying to get as good as we can get in these next 2 games to launch ourselves into next year.
No doubt. And then in the out of season, you weren't able to come obviously until the summer, but you get these 2 games done this Friday, next Tuesday, and then you kind of get the rest of February through end of the school year or summertime, the things. You talked about laying the foundation, but then being able to build on that as launch into next year. It is a tough, highly competitive league, but we have made progress. We're excited about the future. And the Ranger fans who, again, will get a chance to see you on the air next Tuesday, who are some of the names and faces? Who should they be looking for? Who's kind of led the way for you this year?
Like I said, Sayana Cavazos has been our point guard. She's our leading scorer. She really does do a good job of leading the press break and bringing the ball up the floor. We've also had Isabel DeMary come on strong as the season has progressed. She's our leading rebounder, has given us a couple double-doubles even this season. So we've been really impressed with her. And then a couple of young ones. We've got 2 freshmen, Olivia Lindner, and then Camden Copenhaver, who we pulled up off of JV about halfway through the season, and she's just been phenomenal, stepping in and contributing right away, which has been huge for us.
Well, that's good. We want to obviously close out well with our seniors and thank them for laying the foundation. And, of course, we're excited to see some of those young players as they continue to progress in their career. We have 2 games left. We have one on Friday, and then next Tuesday at home against Veterans Memorial, one of the Judson ISD schools, we have a senior night. Is that right? And then that game will also be broadcast live on the Rangers Network at 6:30. So be looking for that link as a way to click on and watch it from home if you can't come to the gym and watch it in person. And so we're excited about it. Looking forward to closing out the year well. And Coach Johnson, we appreciate you being on.
Thanks.
Okay, well, we're going to kick it back to Coach Miller. She's going to talk about not only the week ahead in girls basketball, but all boys basketball, soccer, baseball, softball, track, all the stuff that we have going on right now. We'll throw it back to her. So, Coach Miller, take it away.
Thanks, coaches. Coach Johnson, thanks for that deep dive into basketball. Speaking of Ranger Network, if you're looking to find our boys basketball team, Ranger Network will be covering them this Friday as they take on Tybee at Smithson Valley. So if you can't make it to the game, tune in there. They will also next Tuesday head to Veterans Memorial at 6:30. This Friday is their last home game. So we'd love to see you either at Smithson Valley or tuning in to watch them on Ranger Network. Swim, as we said, has this week off before they head to regionals next week. So next week we'll sit down with Coach Duck and find out a little bit more about swim. Wrestling has their district tournament this Saturday at the Delco Center in Austin. So Coach Thomas has done a fantastic job getting those kids ready. They just had a great performance. We look forward to seeing how they do at district this Saturday. Girls and boys soccer both continue their district season. The girls will be at Smithson Valley this Friday against New Braunfels. The boys will be at New Braunfels. So same opponent, just different locations. And then next Tuesday, if you're looking for the boys, they'll be here against Wagner, while our girls will travel to Wagner. We've also got golf kicking up. So this Thursday through Saturday, they will be at NEISD tournament held at Canyon Springs. So if you're wanting to watch some golf, you've got 3 days to do that. We were supposed to have a track meet today. Track season is getting going, but because of this beautiful weather we're having, we will not have the Canyon Dual track meet, but we'll sit down with Coach Jones in a couple weeks here when we have Ranger relays and get a deep dive into what it looks like for our award-winning track team. And speaking of awards, we've got softball and baseball that are getting started. I went and watched softball scrimmage Monday against Canyon. The girls look fantastic. Coaches have got them ready and good to go. If you're looking for them, they head to East Central this Friday for another scrimmage, and then finish up with their scrimmages next Tuesday here against Churchill at SV. And boys baseball, if you've driven by the field, it doesn't look like they're playing, but they are. Hats off to Coach Kale and his coaching staff for how they've handled the construction and just all of the kids with the changes and being flexible with it. But they kick off their scrimmages this Saturday in San Marcos, and then on Tuesday, they will head to Churchill for baseball scrimmages. So as you can see, it is that time of year. There is always something going on here at SV. We would love to see you up here. If you've got nothing else to do the rest of the week, we hope you have a wonderful week. We'll see you next week. Go Rangers.